Welcome back, guys. Today we're checking out this 8-degree pedal here. It's got this cool float feature. So here's what was in the box. We got a ton of good stuff. Different springs to adjust the float. We have longer pins to adjust with as well. We have, some washers. That's for something. I'm sure I'll figure that out. Came with an Allen key, which is super nice. And some sick stickers, as well as instruction guides, which is super useful, and just your manuals here and a pin replacement guide. So I got the X82 model, you can see that right there, and it's a slightly larger platform by 11 millimeters on the length and 8 on the width, I think, and super sleek, super high quality, sick pedal. So I've actually just opened up the pedal in that hole right there, and I've taken out the spring where you would change it. So the blue spring is what comes pre-installed. It's the middle weight spring, about 30 pounds. The green spring, there's the lighter one, 20 pounds, and red is 40 pounds. You can change that. So now I've disassembled part of it. You can see this is where the spring is. Right here, you can add some of these washers, and we have a guide here on how to do that and how that would increase the tension. So that way you can essentially have increments of how much of weight you want the spring to have without going all the way up by 10 pounds here. And so just to show you how this would move, you can see, if I can hold this down with one hand here, you can see how I push to the side and that float moves, and it would be against the spring right there. And so I can't move it there. I can't get 30 pounds of force with my thumb there. And so that all happens through your foot when that's attached to your bike. And so a cool fact about this is right there is an IGUS bearing, which is the top tier bearings, in my opinion, the best ones. They're known for that. A lot of brands use them. There's a Delrin puck, and then it's on top of a stainless steel plate on the bottom there. And then you can see right here, which would be facing down, it's on top of that stainless steel plate as well. So it's really sick, and it actually is not lubricated, and this surface and the stainless steel plate naturally polish themselves over time and move even more freely. So there's never an issue with friction. So here you can see one of the 8-degree pedals in a video I pulled from their website. And so you can see it physically moves side to side in that float. And then with the rider's body weight, it goes against those springs so that it's just the right amount that keeps your ankle, knee, and your hips more aligned to make everything feel more natural and smooth when you ride. So that's how these pedals work, and they're definitely super high quality off the bat. Now we just gotta install them and see how they ride and feel on my bike. So we got our pedals off, and let's get these on, and make sure if you have SRAM GX cranks like I do, and some other SRAM cranks, I think there's a washer you need, so I just pulled those off. So it also does say to put grease on the threads before you install them, so I'm just gonna do that here. Just put on a bit of grease, and I got my washer on, you can see. So I've got these pedals installed. It was super easy, and they actually look really sick, like especially with my cranks on the drivetrain. And so I really like the black with like the slight white accent. Really goes with like anything, and it's super sick. And so let's see how they feel. So literally just now riding around the garage, it doesn't feel really unnatural to me, which is kind of nice because that was one of my worries. And it almost feels like I have extra rear travel, which is kind of cool, which is actually one of the sensations I noticed when I was first riding clipless pedals here with the float. It felt like I had extra rear travel. At first I noticed that, now I'm used to it, but it's kind of a small thing, and I get that here now, which that's the first thing I noticed, and that's really exciting to me and really cool. Riding on the new 8-degree pedals and about to take a lap. Let's see how they feel. There actually was a big difference, I felt like. I felt like the whole rear end of the bike was almost smoother because I have the float like clip pedals. Towards the end, when I really pushed into the back wheel, I could like feel it. It kind of felt more normal relative to riding my downhill bike. when you start the pedaling, like when my feet come onto the pedals at the start of the trail, it feels weird for a sec. And then it feels like really kind of smooth. So I just finished up another ride on these pedals. As you can tell by the bit of dirt that was just stuck in there. And overall, I would highly recommend. They're super sick and they actually make a really big difference. And yeah, I have a link in the description as well if you want to get some. So feel free to check it out.